What's up, Star Wars fans? Today we got some great predictions for The Bad Batch episode 14. With only a few episodes left in the season, I'm certainly excited for this episode, but of course I'm also excited to hear your community speculation. I asked you, the community, what you thought was going to happen in this episode, and as always, you came through with some great ideas. And first up here we have GKINGXXX, and they state the episode is titled War Mantle. It's going to be epic, and hopefully we see Vader. In GK, personally, I think it's more likely that we'll see Emperor Palpatine than Darth Vader, but hey, you never know. We also have a comment from the user simply named The, and they state we will see the return of Tarkin to begin the process of removing the clones from service. And that is absolutely something we could see. We know that Project War Mantle is the replacement of the clones by stormtroopers, and seeing Tarkin show up on Kamino and give that directive to Rampart, well, that's definitely something we could see, but I think this is also where we could see that quick cameo from the Emperor. Maybe he reaches out to Rampart or Tarkin and tells them it's time to execute Project War Mantle. But next up, we have a comment from Artaholic Guy. They state, as the name suggests, the Empire knows that the clone program is starting to fail. They will confront Kaminoans, ending the contract, and start to recruit troopers. The Kaminoans certainly won't be happy, and this will build to a conflict. And yeah, that's a great prediction, Artaholic Guy. I think after seeing Hauser in episode 12 and his speech, and how some of the clones totally agreed with Hauser, well, something like that isn't going to go unnoticed by Tarkin, and certainly won't go unnoticed by Emperor Palpatine himself. But that all said, we also have Axe to the Max with a comment on the community tab, and they state, with only very few episodes left, there's not much room for any more filler episodes. Crosshair is coming for the batch, and I think it will set up the perfect feeling of suspense. And absolutely, Axe to the Max, that is a great reminder that in episode 12, Crosshair did ask permission from Admiral Rampart to hunt down the Bad Batch. It's going to be really interesting to see if that ties into this episode, episode 14, and Project War Mantle. Because if the clones are getting replaced by stormtroopers, well, Crosshair is one of those clones. So exactly how is that all going to fit into this story? Well, let's see if the Medieval Man 9 has any answers to those questions. In his comment on the community tab, he states this episode is titled War Mantle, and that implies a lot for me. I think this marks the beginning of a major plot point. Everything that we've seen so far has been leading to this particular story arc. We also know that Rampart has given his permission for Crosshair to hunt down and eliminate the Bad Batch. But if Crosshair succeeds, it will undermine Rampart's attempts to remove the clones and replace them, which is why I think Rampart has set up Crosshair to fail. I think Crosshair and his team will catch up with the Bad Batch and a fight will ensue. But just as it seems like Crosshair will succeed, his team is going to betray him, setting him up as the fall guy and proving that clones can't be trusted to get the job done. This will give Tarkin and Rampart the excuse they need to remove clones on a large scale and replace them with stormtroopers. Operation War Mantle will be in full effect. And this is a fantastic prediction, Medieval Man 9. You see, I was thinking that this episode was going to be all about Project War Mantle, but I like how you're thinking that this episode is going to set up Project War Mantle. That by the end of this episode, Tarkin and Rampart will have all the proof they need to proceed with Project War Mantle. Great predictions as always, and thanks to everybody who dropped a comment on the community tab. We'll be doing this again for next week's episode, and make sure you look out tomorrow for my preview episode of The Bad Batch episode 14. As always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.